We are beyond trendsetters. I think I said this yesterday while we were doing the Trans Pride March. I was like nature and the earth, the universe is trans. It's completely always changing. It's always in a state of flux and a state of slight tension or change or metamorphosis or something, preparation for a change. And that is what the trans experience is. Being trans is not just, going from one to another. It's being open to whatever energy resides within your body, within your vessel, or is emanating from your vessel on that day, and being able to move with it.
Hello. Hi guys, and welcome to 155 of the Tutus podcast. I am Nana.
And I'm Rose.
And together we are Tutus. Welcome to the podcast, Darkwah.
I actually cannot contain myself.
Welcome to the podcast, Darkwah. Now, I'm not going to do your intro just because you do a lot of things, and I don't want to leave anything off the list. So I want you to introduce yourself and let the people know all the beautiful, amazing things that you do.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I feel like really energized now. Hello, everybody. My name is Darkwah. I am your favorite non-binary bodybuilder Barbie.
I love it.
I am a content creator, a performing and recording artist, and also a public speaker and social activist.
Come on. How do you feel about the title social activist?
I think I am leaning into it because I know that everything that I do is not just for me, it's beyond me, it's for my community, and therefore that's social. And activism is actively going out and pushing and fighting for change, and I believe that I do that in everything that I do. So I think because there have been discussions about whether people should or should not call themselves that, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I'm claiming the title because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, or you're not sure of what you're doing, or you can't be sure that what you're doing is definitely going to benefit your community or benefiting your community, or you don't know what your intention for doing the thing is, and therefore you cannot give what you're doing over to your community, then I would not say you should take on the word activist, but I am all about my community.
Do you know, it's really refreshing because I just feel like people don't use the word. They're doing what they're doing, but because there's a lot of ego involved.
Yeah, they're doing it for them.
A lot of people do it for themselves, doing it for the queens. And I do think they do care about the community, but it's only if they're getting the coins as well.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's also perfectly fine. I don't think that it's a bad thing to want to make your money. Like we live in a world where queerness is commodified, and yet the queer people don't actually benefit from it. So
if you see what we've been through this month,
do you know what I mean?
Well, last month wasn't it? Last month even.
I just call it Pride season now because they be doing whatever they want to do because they don't really plan it properly.
It's still kind of Pride.
I'm still proud. I'm still proud.
The Pride celebrations are continuing.
It's continuous, still going
we're
on.
having a party next Sunday.
Yeah, and that's a Pride party.
Stunning.
Yeah, that's a Pride. Are you free next week Sunday?
Yeah, I am free next week Sunday.
I haven't put you on the guest list. Did I not tell you this already?
No, you didn't. I'm down.
Yeah, you're already on the guest list. You're already there, child. So yeah, even the Black Pride is August now.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just continuous now.
It's completely
and I do like that because it's not every day just June.
Yeah, it's true. Did you go to London Pride? Good answer.
I was in Lithuania.
Okay.
Yeah, I was performing in Lithuania.
Amazing.
At Nijinsky Club, which is this really super cool queer collective in Lithuania. The club is also called Nijinsky 3. And I was there performing with them. We also did like a private Pride festival for Vinted. So that was quite cute.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was it? How was queerness out there? Like, especially being black and queer. How was that experience?
Well, I was on the plane next to a transphobic racist, and it was a full flight. So that was a,
so you
that
couldn't
was a
move.
thing. No, I couldn't move. But no, honestly, I don't know because I knew I was also going there to do a job. You know, like as content creators or people who are like in the public eye or whatever, like sometimes you just switch off and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go into like celebrity mode. The way that when we were younger we pretend like we're celebrities, like we can't hear or see things. So it's kind of like that. Like, but also I think I was just comfortable. I like being places actually that are quite quiet and small and chill and conservative, because like even though I stick out like a sore thumb, I still want to kind of live that fantasy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, look at me, I'm going to get croissant. You know what I mean?
What's
like,
outside of you again?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh yeah, like me.
Yeah.
So what else do you have in your chart?
I'm Scorpio, Gemini rising, Capricorn moon.
Because I'm sensing some Delulu in there. Yeah.
Delulu.
I think, is it Gemini's that bit Delulu?
Yeah, they are.
I think it's Gemini's.
I've got Gemini in my chart as well. Gemini moon, and yeah, it's given to
Okay,
Yeah.
it's given to Delulu.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No.
Wow. No. I love Delulu. I've got Delulu. I've got Sagittarius in my chart.
Yeah, I have Sagittarius in my Mars.
Yeah. We're all Delulu.
I heard that Sagittarius are quite chaotic in just who they are.
No, do you know what? It's actually not that. It's to do with the fact that Sagittarius are very directional. They're like, okay, this is the thing that's getting my energy. Fine, I'm done with it. This is the next thing. I'm done with that. This is the next thing. And that's why they seem chaotic. It's because they're only going to give their energy to one thing at a time.
Yes.
But because they also want to give their energy to lots of things, they try and do things quickly.
Yeah.
And then they think themselves
seems
into
like chaos.
holes.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah,
like
that sounds a bit like me.
Yeah.
But it's Delulu.
yeah, that does sound a little bit like me. Yeah.
So first things first, we want to get into the music.
Okay, you want to get into the music?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool.
music.
We need to get into the music. I know that we are going to go so many tangents, so I'm going to try to keep us on topic.
Okay, cool. Fab.
So, the music. Tell us about the music.
Okay.
When did that start? How did that start?
How did that- oh my
what's the
God.
vibe?
No, listen, it started when I was like 7 years old, putting my sister's dolls in chairs so I could do concerts for them. And then when I also thought that I wasn't going to be able to be a musician, I thought I was going to be a pastor. So I started preaching to them. Listen, any way I can get a stage.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I see it. Yeah.
Any way I can get a stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started when I was really young. I'm trained in opera, so I'm also an opera singer.
Amazing.
And I kept wanting to try and do it, but I think I was also really uncomfortable with being myself while doing it. So even I started doing drag a couple of years ago so that I could, I think, segue into presenting in a different way, but I hadn't realized at the time that that's what I was doing. And then once I started doing drag, I became really confident giving myself like my talent, because when I wasn't giving like cis man, I didn't feel comfortable tapping into opera or rap or anything like that, because that was something that I knew when I was playing the role of this person that everybody knew.
Yeah.
So when I started doing drag, I found a different part of myself, I guess, that allowed me to proudly and not ashamedly tap into the things that I can do. Then I stopped doing drag because I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Why?
It hurts.
Really?
It hurts. Tucking hurts.
Okay, yeah.
Jumping into splits hurts. And all of the girls are doing it now, so you always have,
You have to do it. You have to be on trend.
And I'm just not trying to do it. I'm not trying to hurt my knees for anybody.
I hear it.
So I stopped doing drag. And I was like, but I still want to do something. And slowly but surely sharing my poetry on Instagram, from written to then using my voice to then making poetry videos, blah, blah. My best friend, Virgin X, makes music. And she was like, come, let's do something together. And then Jack, who's a friend of mine, came over to mine and we got really stoned.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've made this beat, like, let's just do something.
Right.
So that's actually the first line of my first song goes, it feels easier now that I'm a bit stoned. And that's actually me sitting in the living room holding the microphone.
Yeah.
Saying it feels easier now that I'm a bit stoned, because it feels easier to actually do the performance.
Yeah.
And Jack was already recording. So we did that. And then a good friend of mine, Ellis Mia, who is like an incredible producer, he also produced one of the all-time favorite tracks from RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars.
Oh.
You know, Read You Wrote You with Katya, Trixie.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, that's
Actually, I
okay.
haven't watched RuPaul for time.
Oh, well, I mean, that's okay. He also produces like fucking Miley Cyrus and BTS, but like either way. Okay. Yeah, so
It's
then
given celeb.
I mean, it's giving really cool. So I then I signed to Ellis's label, Bodega Superette, and we started continuing to make music, and that's what's happening now. And I'm
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
sick.
That was
That is
such a
sick.
long answer.
No, but that's it's a journey,
Yeah.
and we needed to know where like it came from,
Yeah.
because you know we're here now, like where we
Yeah,
are.
and it seems like a very organic journey as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people, you have to be in the studio to record your first tune. You have to like pay all this money for producing, and it just feels like, I want to do this shit, so I'm doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, also, it comes from I hustle. I like to try and make sure that everyone gets the same, or everyone gets like a fair amount.
Yeah.
Like if it's money, if it's attention, if it's whatever. And because of that, I try and find the smartest and most efficient ways to do things. Sometimes it's not always up to par, but it's up to par enough to show that I have the capability to then get something else done.
Yeah.
So the reason it's happened like that is just because I wanted to make sure that I had the resources to make sure that when I worked with people, they were also cared for. And I think because of that, it happened organically because I wanted to make sure that like, okay, when we do this is how we're going to do it. Like that song, my first single, When I Dance, is also appearing in the first film that I'm ever in.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And like that's sick, you know, and like that's the kind of thing that I want to be able to do always. If I say I'm going to do something, I want to do it in the best way so I can bring as many people that I know on board. So when this thing comes, we're all sharing in the victory.
Yeah. I think that we need to all need to share, and we all need to like just share our like queer musicians and things like that, because a lot of people do music now, good music as well. And so how would you like people like us to like support the music?
How would I like people like you to support music? Well,
our community.
I think our community, I mean, I think the first thing that we could do is all of the gay bars in Soho and outside, why don't you look for gay artists, queer artists who are based in the UK? Seeing as you're so concerned with flying over loads of people, every time you fly over a huge Rue girl, get a UK act to open for them. Because then you're putting them on the map, you know, like... I'm really, really happy that you're going to make God knows how many tens of thousands from the fact that everybody wants to see this person or that person. But like, what are you actually giving to your community? Because you're giving them a space to come, get fucked up, take some photos, and then also strip for you. Like, it just does like the math isn't mathing. You're taking more than you're giving. And I think that that's actually a big problem within the club and event scene at the moment. Where people are taking more than they're giving. Just because you've booked a performer does not mean that you're giving. Are you thinking about the curation of the space? Are you thinking about the energy, the vibe? What is your image putting out? What is you saying this or not saying this or being part of this conversation actually saying about your night? And we as people who consume these things need to be more conscious of it too. I don't want to give my face, my body, my time or my energy to something that I don't feel is doing anything to progress me or my people.
It's true. No. I think you're right. I think when people feel like doing events is just like some quick thing to make money, because it does make money, but there's not enough thought into it about actually creating a space and making it intentional. Do you know what I mean? And down to the people that you even get to perform, down to the people that are there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be like a shared experience.
Exactly.
And like an energy transfer.
Exactly.
You know,
it's a fully an energy exchange. Like so I've recently started working with Citizen M Hotel in Tower of London. And they really just want people to use the space, right? And they were like, oh, like this, that, and the other. And I threw 2 events for them this last week. And each time I've been freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if enough people are going to come. I don't know if this, I don't know if that. And I actually said to one of the global team at the event on Friday, I was like, I was really nervous for this. And she was like, why? And I was like, because I want it to be something that like is mutually beneficial. I don't want just people to come and think I threw a good party, but the hotel is not happy. And she was like, we just want people to use the space. And the fact that you are using the space and your people are here and using the space makes us really happy. And that's the kind of care that I think we need to be able to have. Also, I understand that that kind of care is a luxury or a privilege because we sometimes we are just scrambling to make the money. But for the places that do have the money, the time and the space, I think more care needs to be taken when you are asking people to come to events. You know, or when you're thinking of throwing events, because
it's true.
It's an energy transfer. You don't want someone to come away with bad energy.
It's true. Do you know what as well? I think that sometimes it's good to put new energy in the space as well.
That part.
Because when I think about, now you're speaking, I'm just thinking about a lot of the queer spaces I've been to that have performers, and it is the same performers. If it's going to be British performers, they're usually the same ones, and there's so many people that I know that has brought out like good music, or they're dancers, or they've trained in something new, and they just want a space. Like someone hit us up to do a performance at our event, but it's just that it doesn't go with the type of event, so it would be like a wrong energy transfer if we was to get them. But if we need something else, absolutely we'd be happy to share that space. But I just feel like it's lazy sometimes. Lazy not to bring new people in, and it's just
it is, because it's a self-sustaining economy, isn't isn't it? It's like, oh, if I know that, you know, these 4 people who I work with are always making the money, then like, that's fine. But I think that's when also like you lose care very quickly because you don't have anyone else to care for. Everyone's taken care of. You know, like I my creative collective, the house, we all will jump in on different things. I'll be like, okay, Jack, you're DJing this thing and blah blah. Ellis, Ellis is. It's funny. We all are co-collaborators, so we're all part of this house together.
Right.
You know, Ellis is going to do this thing. This new person that we're potentially looking at making a member is going to fly over and do this thing, and it's a roster.
Yeah.
It's not a full lineup, and like every so often, every season, you should have just like the Real Housewives do, where they get to recommend other people and bring them on as friends. That's what should also happen in queer spaces because we all get to graduate. I started by go-go dancing. I was behind the bar at Dolson Superstore, my favorite night, Clam Jam. And I remember my favorite night ever. I was in these black and white checkered boxer shorts with black tracksuit bottoms that were huge, and I had worn my partner's New Rocks at the time, and I wore a mesh vest, but I took it off, and I had like steampunk goggles on my head. And I remember because there's actually a picture of me. Pizza took it, I think, and I was like fully going for it, and then I stopped bartending. I said, I'm gonna get up on the bar and dance. I'm not serving anymore. I'm going to dance. And I went from serving on the bar to also like, you know, dancing on the bar and being able to curate the space. I was able to then, my friend Tace, who we used to live together, we worked together at Dolson Superstore. We then did like performances on the bar with Congo, who's now like doing their music like internationally too. Like we were all there and we all have graduated. Look at where we all are. Like it's not, like there, you can step up. If you believe you can step up, you will step up. So I beg, let some new people come through.
Like there's just always space. There's just not enough things going on anyway. Like I just feel,
and there's always the demand as well.
There's always demand. I feel like this pride. Do you know what? There's not. I don't want to say there's not enough. There's a lot of variety going on. There's a lot of things happening because you know there's things. But we just need more variety. You know what I mean? Like someone was like, "Oh, why is there not a Amapiano queer night?" And they were like,
"There fucking is."
Do you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
We've got to let the people know.
Yeah, we need to let the people know about it because people have asked us about that.
All right, cool. So Mama Piano is a night that I started with my friend Felix Mex, who's part of the house as well. And it's queer Amapiano with, you know, that African birthday party slash.
Yes.
I mean, some people will take it over to ballroom, and I can completely understand why, but I'm not ballroom. So what I do is not ballroom. I am an African, a proud West African. And when we're at the party, you will have an MC telling everybody to go down low, to dip into the flow, to turn it around, and to pop it to the ground. You know what I mean? So I'm bringing from the culture that I know. If it happens to cross over, fine. But listen, there's enough videotapes and stuff of childhood for me to cross that bridge when I get there if they want to drag me. But
the whole party footage is there.
Do you know what I mean? So like, you know, it's very that. It's we want to unify the space. So we did a takeover with House of Trash for a while, and we were in Electroworks. And we moved away from there just because I needed to take some time. There was a lot doing that and doing a lot of other stuff. But we're coming back. We're going to be in loads of different venues that are going to take you high up into the sky.
We are ready.
But yeah, we're back, and we're also probably going to be doing a party in Hong Kong later this year.
That is amazing.
That's sick.
Sick.
Yeah, sometimes when they go quiet, it's not because they're dead, it's because they're working.
Yeah.
You know,
I hope I have some coins to come to it. Because I actually want to go to Hong Kong for something. So this is the reason. I need to I like
What about Tokyo? You said you
No, so it's Hong Kong that I'm doing. It's gay games. So the gay games, which it's so funny because I feel like I say it and I feel like everyone should know that it exists, but even I didn't know it existed. It's all LGBTQ athletes. So this is also like the Olympics that like trans athletes can compete in. Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I'm following them right now on Instagram.
Listen, please do. I can connect you with the people that are working on it because we need to be out there and support our community everywhere, and to support the athletes in our community, the athletes who are being not allowed to compete for simply existing the way in which they are. If they have a stage that they can compete on, we should all be tuning in and supporting it.
100%. Yeah, I didn't even know that was, because obviously I told you I did the video for the athletes the other day, and I was thinking about like trans people and how they've been excluded and stuff, and I was just like, where's the solution for this? Do you know what I mean? Like, because it feels like it's just all up in the air, there's no solution. But to hear that, even like there's somewhere that they can go because that's their passion. Do you know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, everybody go follow him. I guess.
I followed. I've even followed. Do you know what? It's crazy because with gay games, is it like all countries involved?
Yeah, so I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I think it is still done in like countries. So it's very much like the Olympics, and all of the sports.
If Ghanaians will be there.
Oh, the Ghanaians, I'm sure, will be there. If they're flying me out to come and perform.
That's what have some
some
jumpers. They will. Some wrestlers, all of it.
Wow,
So do you know anything about the trans communities in Ghana?
I do not, but you know what I do know? I do know that in Tema, specifically, pre-colonial times, Tema was one of the places that it was a huge community of trans people living.
In Tema?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Jamestown? Jamestown is Accra, isn't it?
Yeah, Jamestown's Accra.
'Cause I know there's a lot of queer people. They say that like Jamestown is like
The queer
area. And I went to what I thought was Jamestown, but it was just a shop called Jamestown.
Oh.
I put it in Google and I went in the Uber for ages, and it was just the wrong Jamestown.
No.
When I went by myself, I was looking for some queer people. And I went to go meet somebody, and it was the wrong Jamestown.
You went to go meet someone?
Yeah, I knew them from London. They were in Ghana as well. Yeah,
well, it was
I don't think I was hoeing in Ghana last year.
No, you wasn't.
I wasn't hoeing in Ghana.
Yeah, it was really hoeing. When was the last time you went to Ghana?
Last time I was in Ghana, I think I was 20.
Oh,
It's just a while
It's been
ago.
a while. How was it?
It was a lot, but it was great. I got to see my family.
Yeah.
It was nice. I would love to go back. I feel...
you can say, listen, you can say what you want to say.
I feel that it would be very interesting for me to go back.
Yeah.
Being the way that I am, presenting the way that I am, but also being of the family that I'm from.
Okay.
Because my dad is like a well-known TV and radio presenter in Ghana.
Interesting.
Your parents might know of
Probably
him
will.
as KKD.
Yes. Oh.
Not your face.
Is that your father? Hey, is it
No fucking way.
Doesn't he wear like suits?
Yeah.
He hosted my brother's wedding.
Oh my God, sick.
Yeah. He hosted my brother's wedding in Newham in like, I must have been, maybe I was like year 9 at the time. So how old were you when you were like 14 or 15?
Yeah.
I feel like I was like 14 or 15. I would have had relaxed hair then. Yeah. He had the suits.
I probably was there then.
Yeah, it was in Newham Town Hall.
That's
Wait,
insane.
no.
It was Newham Town Hall, and my brother's married to a Nigerian lady.
Yeah, I was at your brother's wedding.
No, they had an Ovation magazine on these things there.
Yes,
That's insane.
yes,
That's
yes.
crazy.
I was. Oh my
That's
God!
That is crazy. This is what I love about Ghanaians. Yeah.
Everybody knows each other. Like
somewhere.
everybody knows. There's
That
always
is
a connection.
crazy. I can't wait to tell mum this. She's gonna seem like, because I think that she thinks that within her like not queer Ghanaian circles, I think she thinks I'm the only queer person. Like she's the only person who has a queer child.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of us.
Yeah.
I think I don't know personally, but like I don't know. There's something in like I feel when I'm around like Ghanaian people. There's a softness to our spirit.
Yeah.
I personally feel.
I agree.
And I think that there's a specific type of softness also specifically in queer Ghanaian people. So I feel like even when they're not out, I can always like feel it.
Yeah.
You know, because there's just a warmth that we give off anyway when we're all in a room together. But like when you really click with someone, there's that extra. And that's what it felt like. But yeah, so my dad's KKD.
That's crazy.
Which is why I mean, I'm happy to go to Ghana, but it's also like a lot.
Yeah.
Because-
Do you feel like some pressure, a little pressure?
Yeah,
or-
because he's
Not sure, and everybody knows what I look like. You know, I can't also blend in. It's not like I'm going to shave my head. You know what I mean? Like,
and you shouldn't have to. Either.
You know, you shouldn't.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just kind of like, I want to get to a point where if I go to Ghana and when I go to Ghana, I can take care of myself completely so that it's not stress for anyone, because I know that just my being there is stress.
Yeah, I can understand that, because even when we went to Ghana in 2018, my mum was just like, what are you guys going to wear when you go there? And she wasn't there, she was here. And she was she ended up coming in the end. I think that she came last minute. I think she just wanted to make sure it'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But she was just like, at the time I thought like, oh, here she would go being homophobic. But actually it was just from a safety point of view. It was kind of, she was like, I don't want you guys to go out. People are talking to you anyhow because of the way you're dressed and
exactly.
blah, blah, blah.
And then someone thinks that they can fight you for whatever reason because they think you're being rude or disrespectful because you're walking away from them.
Yeah, exactly. There's that as well. So,
Safety element.
but it was, I mean, we did get stares.
Yeah.
You know, we did get some stares. I bet for the most part, you know, Ghanaians, they actually do mind their business.
They do. I just think that there's also I think Ghanaians don't mind a man who likes men and is a bit effeminate, and I don't think they mind a woman who likes women and is a bit masculine.
Yeah.
It's when it starts to cross over,
Yeah.
because of our good old friend colonialism, that then it's like of the devil.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I hear it. It's a
Yeah.
very different like experience, you know, us going to Ghana and just like, you know, it's not.
It's going to be a different experience. It's just different. You know what I mean?
It's going to be a very
and
different
and also,
experience.
I feel like I think there's Africa in general, West Africa anyway. If you are, they know you have got money, status,
different.
It's just
That's when
different. Even that is a different experience.
That's a different
Exactly.
experience. Yeah, because that's when like, oh, they will respect you because you got money, you know, even class, if you're like, you know, class and all of that plays a huge part in it. So yeah, it's just that's why like in Ghana, like with the trans like people that are there that I've heard about or read about, a lot of them come from maybe like, you know, they don't come from like rich families and stuff like that, or they've had to like leave their homes and stuff, so like they're just like not respected and, you know, bullied and
You're
stuff
basically
like that.
discarded.
Yeah, but there is the lady, she's a trans musician.
Yes, Maxine Angel.
Yes. And I just love her.
Yeah.
I love her. I love that she's just doing her. And also her mum was really like accepting of her. And I think because her mum like spoke out for her and stuff like that as well. It just, I feel like it helps. It's always
helps.
nice.
It's the same with Bob Risky. Bob Risky has said that her mum was really, I know, however you feel about Bob Risky.
No, you know what? I don't think I don't like Bobrisky. I don't think I think too much about.
Yeah, same.
I'm surprised that Bob Risky is still going.
No, but she said that her mum, when she was younger, her mum really cared about her. Her mum knew who she was, like from when she was young, and that helped her be herself. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that really does help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's not all doom and gloom.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not
not.
gloom.
I think it's just really about like putting aside your pride as a parent, because like there's so much pride in being able to even bring a child into the world, right? So congratulate yourself on that, and then just like humble yourself.
Yeah, just let
because you still have to get to know this human being. It came from you, yes, but you still have to get to know this human being.
That human being is not going to be formed into whatever your expectations are.
It's not your image.
Like,
Exactly.
We are individuals, and when you've brought us here, you gave us the individualism. So let us be. Do you know what I mean? So even like with my daughter, so sometimes when like she's at the moment, I feel like she's definitely, well, she's only 12, so she's still finding it. She's going to be finding herself for a long time.
Right.
But like her style keeps changing. Like one day she's doing tomboy, next day she's doing black girl that goes to pack to buy hair things.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think at the moment she's kind of in her alt phase at the moment. But it changes so quickly. And you have to just let it be. Mum look at her and be like, what are you wearing? I'm like, leave her alone. She's wearing what she wants to wear. It's her expression.
Yeah.
Just leave her to it.
Yeah.
So
Let her find the
You let her
right
find
freak.
it. What was that like growing up for you? Did you like, because for me, I was like, for us both, we was always like little tomboys, like, do you know what I mean? We always wanted to wear like tracks. I always loved wearing tracksuit bottoms, trainers and stuff like that. Like that's what it's like. What was it like for you?
It was interesting because my dad and my mom were both like really like stylish. And like, I mean, everybody knows what my dad dresses like.
Yeah.
So while I had the freedom to explore lots of fashion, because as soon as it was made aware that, you know, the queerness and the feminist is not really it, I had to find smart ways of incorporating that into the things that I would wear that didn't feel like me, so I would feel okay.
yeah.
So I remember, like, I remember liking wearing my jeans really low, but not too low that they were like, you know, sagging and stuff. And I would always wear like a really nice fitted t-shirt. Now my dad actually once said to me, I like how respectfully you wear your jeans. It's low, but it's not too low. And I was like, yes. Little did he know that I was actually trying to copy the placement of the back of the satin green trousers on Beyonce in Crazy in Love.
Do you know,
because when she was bouncing, there was no crack.
I can see what.
Do you know, I was envisioning, do you know, like maybe like Christina Aguilera? Because I can imagine it. I absolutely love it. I love it. So we've got another tangent. So
no, that's so that's what it was like. I had to like learn to queer code myself, and then because obviously being attracted to men, I would then look at the kinds of men that I was attracted to in media, and then find ones that my dad liked.
Yeah,
right.
So then I could do no wrong because I was dressing similarly to someone that he really liked. So if any of my aunts or uncles, mainly the aunts, because, you know, it's usually by women who will help uphold black men's things, and men who will help uphold women's like things, oppressive structures. Although, you know, the weight is slightly different every so often, so don't come for me. But yeah, so I would at least have my dad to defend me. Now, there were times when my dad also didn't defend me. When I thought, you know, okay, I can go into the Neo Soulja Boy crossover vibe thing.
No.
I went and decided to go and get the London skyline, like shaved into the back of my head.
Oh, brave. Which Papa did that?
Very brave when you're staying with Auntie Mama in fucking, what's it called? East London.
I'm done.
When she's like, why do you look like you don't have a home?
Do you know what? Yeah, I was gonna say because from obviously now I want to know who your father is. The family's given class. The family's given class. So like when you go and shave something like that in the head, back of your head, they're thinking, which ruffian is this?
You know, ruffian was the word that was used. So yeah, no, that was the experience doing clothing, and then when I started to really feel uncomfortable in the clothing that I had gotten to learn to be comfortable with a little bit, and I wanted to also be attractive to the people that I was attracted to.
Yeah.
So that was different because at first I was just trying to feel comfortable with my body, but feeling comfortable in my body and my dad being okay with what I was wearing wasn't getting me anywhere with the people that I wanted to be attracted to or whatever. So then I had to change that. And then when I changed that, that's when I started having issues with what I was wearing because my dad didn't like it. So then it was, okay, I'm going to hide a bag where we put the bins.
When you're going out.
And you double wrap that shit because you can't get bin smell in it. And and then I would go to a party and come back and I would change and then I'd come in. And yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't like a crazy oppressive environment, but we all know what parents are like when they don't like you to do something. So
sometimes you don't want to hear the noise. So you just have to do what you do.
Exactly.
So
you're just like,
hear it.
let me just bypass this in whatever way possible. And so that's what I did.
Do you know what? It's so interesting because my friend was asking me how my confidence has grown with how I've presented over the years. And I said, you know what? I feel like I was at my lowest of confidence when I was presenting the way I wanted my partner time for me to be like. She was like, I felt like she was into people who were like hyper masculine. I'm still very feminine in my mannerisms. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way I dress. I just wear boys' clothes. That's all it is. Everything else is feminine. So I felt like I had to really be on the opposite spectrum to who I was, and that's when I cut my hair. I did all this, and she didn't even like it in the end. She just said, I preferred it when you had hair.
You can't do things for other people.
Yeah, and the things when I look back, I look at those pictures and I feel like, look into my eyes, I'm like, I wasn't even that comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and so now it doesn't even matter about other people. I'm always gonna just present the way I feel most comfortable, and I think that's where my confidence shines the most, when I'm being myself all the time. So but it's interesting to see how we sometimes alter certain things for other people, for their comfort,
you know,
very
and dismissing our own. Do you know what I mean? Like even though the other day I walked into the house, this was 2 days ago, I walked into the house, my mum was like intrigued, she's just like, oh, like look at the way you're dressed like a boy. And I was like, for me, it just went right over my, like, I don't give a shit,
Mom
babe.
is so funny. She would just see us sometimes. She'd be like, oh, yes. Like, I remember last year, she was like, I saw an old picture of your makeup. Why do you do it again? That is mom.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. She's just like, oh.
Scream.
But we just take it with a picture of something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
kind of just
100%.
right now. It just goes like, oh
Yeah.
my! I'm just like, what can I do?
I think also like I'm really happy with the place that I've gotten to with my relationship with a lot of my family. I do their makeup a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like I had like my younger cousins around and I gave them all like a makeup tutorial or like I'll do my mom's makeup or send products. I'll be like, yo, this is what you need to be using now.
They
This
love
is
it,
the
you know.
They do.
Don't
They
mind
do.
it. They love it. Don't mind
They
it.
do.
They love that shit.
That's how they go and flex.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause even my uncle, I have an uncle. He is a hairstylist, and like he was a celebrity hairstylist. He did Rihanna's hair, Kate Moss's hair. His name is Michael Wadi, and like he's older now, and everyone had their issues with queerness, but there was no issue when it's come to do their hair, do their makeup.
Right.
It'll come to Kaneshi. You come to Kaneshi, do everyone's stuff before they're going out.
Do you know what?
Loved
That
it.
one.
It's really interesting though. Like,
Yeah.
But that I think that's really, really wild. And I want to make a point of actually stating this to all African families that might be listening to this podcast. If you have no problem benefiting or gaining from what is coming to you from the queer person in your family who you know has not been treated well, fairly, or correctly, you owe them acknowledgement of it.
100%.
Period.
100. Yeah, but it kind of reflects like wider society and the fact that when it comes to fashion, when it comes to makeup, styling, all those things, there are queer men behind it. Like all of these things. Like, but people don't see a problem with wearing a
you
queer
said queer
person's
men,
design.
but trans women.
Yeah,
really
trans
a
women
lot.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people don't see it. They don't see anything wrong with like even like the way makeup is done these days. Like where did that
Girl,
come
it's
from?
Right.
Right.
I was just about to say it's
Yeah.
drag.
Do you know what I
It's
mean?
drag
It is
and
drag.
it's facial feminization for the dolls who could not get the work done.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
Do you know
true,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, but there's no like, there's little recognition. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like you have no problem taking on these things that these people have created. Do you know what I mean? But then you're a little bit homophobic or
At the end
transphobic.
of the day, I just feel like queer people are trendsetters.
Trendsetters. What would the world be without?
We are beyond trendsetters. I think I said this yesterday while we were doing the Trans Pride March. I was like nature and the earth, the universe is trans.
Yeah.
It's completely always changing. It's always in a state of flux and a state of slight tension or change or metamorphosis or something, preparation for a change. And that is what the trans experience is. Being trans is not just, going from one to another. It's being open to whatever energy resides within your body, within your vessel, or is emanating from your vessel on that day, and being able to move with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Being trans is like water. It is
flows,
it's
yeah.
everywhere and nowhere. It is aggressive and completely passive. It is strong and yet so calming and nurturing. And that's really what the trans experience is. It's not, I want to be this thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's compassion, it's love, it's softness and being in tune with yourself and with everything around you as well.
Oh, I love that. So you went to say Trans Pride. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people actually were saying they didn't know about Trans Pride.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Who
Just
say
people
they-
like on Instagram, just people that follow, because I reposted the Roots yesterday, and some people were just like, oh, I didn't know there was a Trans Pride. It was the same thing last year as well.
People in London?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Right.
And so let's just get into Trans Pride as well, like, because I just feel like if people are not aware of it, then, and
what
it's
is
queer
that?
people that weren't aware of it as well.
Yeah.
Is
So
it queer
like,
people or gay people?
I'm gonna say it was the gays and lesbians.
Gays and lesbians. Yeah.
So gay people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that part. So, let's get into when did Trans Pride start?
you're asking the wrong representative.
I've known about Trans Pride for I think since last year. I think just last year.
The first time I went to Trans Pride was not last year. I think it was the year before.
I didn't know about the year before as well. Actually, I think it was quite small of the year before, wasn't
Yes,
it? Yeah,
because lockdown.
Yeah.
That's when a lot of people really like that's when I noticed trans pride 100% as well, because I think also the transness conversation really only came into my life during lockdown.
Right.
So I also am not aware of when trans pride started. What I am aware of is that it's super necessary, because every single day more and more trans people lose their rights, right?
Yeah.
But
It feels like it's getting worse.
The world
no?
is going
it's
backwards.
getting worse.
It's
But
crazy.
what I think is really crazy that no one seems to understand is that so many rights and freedoms that trans people are fighting for underpin a lot of freedoms that like help a lot of different historically marginalized groups. If trans rights are going away, if you can't talk about the trans experience, we can't say gay in Florida, and all of these other things are happening slowly but surely, something in your life is also going to be affected, if not already, for the sheer fact that
100%.
there's probably a member of your family who's queer, or a close friend to your family who might not be here, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all connected.
It is.
And I feel like we need to recognize how connected everything is
Yeah.
before it all completely falls apart.
Yeah, it's true. I think taking the rights away from one group is taking the rights from every.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the people that should be screaming about the rights being taken away are not just trans people.
No,
it's the
cis-
people that were the target before trans people, the gays. You know what I mean? Just the whole community in general was a target. And before them, it was do you know what I mean? Like, if you
Women.
work backwards,
Yeah.
there's always
There's
a
always a marginalized
different
community,
always a different scapegoat
Yeah.
or victim or whatever. And when I say victim, they're being made into a victim, not
Yeah.
making themselves. No one is, you know.
Nobody
what I
wants
mean?
to be a victim.
true,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, in the same way that it's, certain people got their rights and that helped other groups get their rights. The same way it's going to happen in reverse. Like, that's gonna.
Yeah, man. So how was it? How was trans pride?
it was so electrifying. I was really nervous. I had an anxiety attack in the morning before going.
Why?
I think because I was asked to like march in the front and like be on the mic, and I think that while I really enjoy everything that I do and like I'm aware that there is like a certain level of visibility, I think that level of visibility for doing trans pride is a visibility that I like really respect. And when you don't want to fuck something
you want to
up.
do it well.
That's an important role.
You know,
for
like I'm not only going, because the thing is, yes, you're there and you're giving everybody in the march energy. But what you also have to do with your time is make sure that anybody in the area who does or does not support stops to fucking listen. You know, so because that's the thing, like any good march, protest, cause, anything. And when I say good, I'm saying it through history. I'm not grading anyone's anything. In history, we always have to have something that makes the opposition listen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I felt pressure because I wanted to make sure that for as much as I energized all of my siblings, I made people listen.
Yeah.
And I made people understand that like this is not something that's just like, oh, all of a sudden popped up. You know, we've all been saying that anyway. Everyone did an absolutely incredible job of like letting people know that trans people have been here forever and that we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and that the trans experience is more than just depression and drugs and not being able to be the way that we want. So turning to whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that. And so I had a big cry. And then I put my big girl panties on.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that.
Yeah. And then got there and got to the march and it was just wild.
Yeah.
It was so wild. I was shaking and crying most of the time that I was there, but it was
What did
incredible.
that do for you? Like, especially like after when, sort of your job wasn't done, but for that day, you had done your job for that day. How did it feel after that?
I was numb all day and I was in a state of shock all day. And I
Right.
think today I'm just coming down from it.
Yeah.
Like even walking in here, I realized like I wasn't really like,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, I'm in my body again,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, no, it was really great. It was really, really great. And I hope to do more with and for London Trans Pride. With all of the different spaces that I'm able to occupy, take up, take over, whatever. Like, I want the dolls to have a home everywhere.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
I want all of us to be able to go somewhere and feel comfortable and have the staff know us and us know the staff. And not in a way that like someone was being picked up off the floor last week, but more like, oh, they know my drink. So like, I'm going to text them and let them know we're coming.
Yeah.
Because my drink's going to be on the table. Because we deserve that.
Yeah. It's recognition. It's efforts. Somebody has taken the time
Care.
and to care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think like some of my trans friends as well, they're just like, yeah, we are cool. We're all part of the LGBT community and things like that. But for us, I feel like the rest of the community needs to support us a little bit more.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think that it's not even something that's just a debate. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
It is a fact that actually what needs to happen is more people need to stand up and take up for trans people. Like, listen, imagine waking up every morning and before you've even gotten out of bed, by some magical hook or crook, there are, I don't know, 15 to 23 kilograms, because that's a big bag of rice. Someone puts a big bag of rice on your shoulders and you have to walk that every day. That's before you brush your teeth, before you eat breakfast, before you pick your clothes. And that big bag of rice, because it's magically put in your body, sometimes you feel like it's all here. Sometimes you feel like it's all in your posture, and so nothing that you wear is right. Sometimes you feel like it's all in your skin, because yes, you shaved this morning, but you feel like today the stubble's growing back a little bit more and you feel dysphoric. Sometimes that big bag of rice is just actually in thoughts that cycle over and over in your head that tell you that, oh, you walking down the street today, you're going to get attacked because of this. Or if you decide to dress like this, you're going to go here and this person is going to do this to you. Or you're going to get misgendered here and this is going to make you feel like this. That is basically like doing a full on like obstacle course. Like what was that? What the movie that David Bowie was in, Labyrinth? Doing a whole labyrinth. And all of the obstacles before leaving your house.
Right. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's very heavy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
when have you felt most light in your identity and in your like how you present and just in your
this is going to sound so wild to you. When I was in Italy,
Really?
Oh.
How come?
I went to Naples,
okay.
North and South Italy, completely different places. Say less.
One's giving bougie.
Say less. But went to Naples, and from the airport, even though my passport says Mr., they looked at me, looked down at my passport, looked at me again. I had long braids. They referred to me as she. I went straight through.
Wow.
I'm actually shocked.
Yeah.
From the airport,
Yeah.
the most potentially transphobic and violent place that you could be.
Airports are crazy.
In a country that is in a country that a lot of people also state is like highly racist, highly homophobic. And listen, politics there is going backwards. So it's also important that like any Italians who are listening to this, Ghanaian Italians, whatever, it is important that we vote. We go and make our voices heard, and make sure that we are really learning about who is coming into power is going to do, and like talk to your relatives, talk to your older relatives too, and your younger relatives, because we can't let the world go backwards.
No,
we cannot.
No.
But yeah, that's when I felt the most at ease there, and also in LA. When I went to LA, I learned what it was like to be young, black, queer and fabulous and not give a fuck. It was the best. Both places, Marcianise, just outside of Naples, and LA, both places, people are just like doing their thing. In LA, everyone's a content creator anyway, potentially. So no one really gives a shit what you look like. No. And then in Marcianise, everyone's just going about their business, enjoying life, working, maybe also going through their own things. But like, if you're not spitting in my food or stepping in my light, it's not an issue. So nobody really minded. It was so liberating to be able to wake up in the morning and think, I'm not even going to put a lick of foundation on or concealer and just moisturize and go out and wear a skirt. And have my hair down. Or just lip gloss and mascara.
So freeing. That's a freeing experience.
And not only that, but actually going out as well. Like the going out experience is really different. Like obviously wherever you go, there's going to be people who are doing like shit tons of drugs, blah, blah, so on and so forth. I just think London is the most depressing place for it, because like most people are doing drugs to get away from the fact that like this city is horrible.
Yeah.
They hate it here and they're actually very unhappy. And I say that as someone who used to do that myself, you know. But yeah, it's the vibe is nice. People are there to actually enjoy themselves, because also the people who are throwing the party care about what the party is like. There's just a whole load of care. London is a spoilt rich kid who doesn't realize that their dad is actually going broke. So it's still walking around with a high and mighty attitude. But it's gonna go into Starbucks next month or the month after and get a pumpkin spiced in the season and realize that card is declined. I'm fully over this city.
Yeah, so am I. I'm not gonna lie.
Would you like to move? We've spoken about moving a few times.
I think that I'm over the city not because of the people, but because of the people that run it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think under good energy, good counsel, good rule, it could be a really, really great place to be again. And so for that reason, if I'm perfectly honest, no, I don't really want to move. But it doesn't mean I'm not thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah. Do you know what? I sometimes I think about moving, and I just feel like the reason why I want to move is because I feel like the world is so big, and I just want to experience as much of it as I can. But you can do it with holidays. But I want to do it. I feel like holidays, you've been a bit of a holiday bubble. I want to do it as if I lived there. But
That's
I feel
lot.
but at the same time, I feel like as much as this place is,
It's still home at the end of the day. Like, as much as I also hate the city, it is home, because I often think about like, I'd just like to go to Ghana for like 6 months at a time, then come back here and just kind of split my time.
But even when I think about going to Ghana, I just think, but I can't walk down the street with my girl. Do you know what I mean? Hold hands.
That's the problem. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Come to Naples.
I wouldn't have thought Naples, you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
tell
Even
you
like
right now.
Naples.
that airport experience, that never happens. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
It
this
doesn't happen
person
here.
looked at you, like actually saw you.
Looked at
That
me.
doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah. It's
I'm
nice.
shocked.
It feels nice to be seen.
It is really nice to be seen. I cried actually one of the first time the first time that we were leaving Naples, because I went with my partner. My partner's from Naples.
Yeah.
And when we were leaving, I cried because I was like, I felt like I could breathe for the first time in so long. And then that, not only that, right, but like outside of, you know, the queer experience, just like actually being able to breathe air that like you can smell different things in, you know, and being able to like taste what like vegetables and fruit actually taste like, as opposed to that weird like cardboard mash mix thing that you get when you cook vegetables for more than 10 minutes. You know, it was very eye-opening because I think the media and the world will have you believe that everything starts here in New York and LA and all of that stuff. But like all of the people who contribute the most to those kinds of places all have places that they run away to. So I think as queer people, I think it's also important that we find our getaways a little bit.
Yeah. Do you have a getaway?
Do I get away?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I do. No.
Do you know I went to something called Unplugged. It was a cabin, like it was off the grid, no electric, no phones. I had to lock my phone away for 3 nights, and it was literally all you can see is field. I was just in this thing, and I did it for 3 nights, and that was a getaway. Do you know what I mean? That was I feel like I'm gonna do it. It was a bit cold, so I'm gonna do it just during the summer time.
I feel like that's a little bit much. I don't want someone to tell me that I can't have my phone.
Oh no, it's an option. So there was no one there. It's up to you. So they have a box if you want to put your phone in it, and you give a key as well that you can lock it away. So I put it in there because I wanted to get away from my phone. So that's why I did that.
I would allocated phone check time.
That's
You know, like, because everybody knows that we're still doing business here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a nice 6 a.m. like no 6, maybe 6 is too early.
Yeah.
Like a nice 8 a.m. phone check. Then your next phone check is at 3 p.m. Then your next phone check
spacing
is
it
at
out.
7
Yeah.
p.m. You know?
They gave me a brick phone. There was a brick phone. So I gave like Nana, my mom, and some other people the brick phone.
That she was
number.
alive, you know?
Because I was
Fair.
in the nighttime I was scared. Pitch black. It was just pitch black.
Oh my god, yeah, because no electricity.
There was no electricity.
No, actually, I don't think I could do it. You know.
And even the toilets,
some wooden toilet.
It's one of them ones where you get up and close the lid, and that's when I don't think it actually flushed.
It just goes somewhere.
It just went somewhere.
Just go somewhere.
It was an experience. It was an experience. It was solar paneled. It was still hot water. There was like heating and stuff like that. And I had a fireplace outside. It would have been nice to do that for babes, but you know, there's no babes to do with. So I went by myself. But I think that was a good getaway for me. It was nice. And it was the beginning of my journey into recentering myself.
Yeah.
So it was a good launch into that.
Yeah.
Love that.
It was good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. We have some dilemmas. Are you going to ask
my
some
God.
Oh my God, some dilemmas. Yes.
We've got some queer dilemmas.
We have got some dilemmas. So somebody on Twitter recommended that we do a dilemma thing. We're like, do you know what? Let's go for it. So we do you know that thing, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We did it through that. So it's anonymous.
Stunning.
So we got quite a few.
I love telling people what to do with their problems too. So this is like great for me.
That is hilarious.
Oh, somebody said that they also DM'd us a dilemma. So if you want to check the Twitter DM.
I think I took a picture.
Some of them are asking us things like name all your exes. We both doing that. We're not trying to get with.
People just want to know our
good.
business.
Actually,
sometimes.
one of my exes asked me to never name them in anything.
Really?
They literally sent me a text and an email being like,
not an email as well.
oh yeah, they were very serious. They were a Libra.
Okay, I'm a Libra too.
Yeah,
I do emails. Yeah, that makes sense.
They're like, I don't want any mention of me in any of your poetry or films or anything ever. And I was like, okay, cool.
Not even like an alias.
No.
Damn.
Okay, it's my experience. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, if my experience includes you, sorry, you might get talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It just is what it is.
Ciao.
Anyway.
Okay, this is the first one. This one's a bit long.
Okay.
So brace yourselves.
Okay.
I've been with my girlfriend for almost 2 years and I love her down. Most amazing woman ever. However, she's not out and it's starting to get to me because I feel like there's a limit on how our relationship can progress. I'm pushing 30 but would never want to force someone to come out. So do I... Where's part 2?
That's how long it is.
Yeah. So do I end things or stick it out and see what happens? I don't want to waste my time because of my age and what I want in life, but she is literally perfect bar that. But I don't think she's coming out anytime soon, if ever, and her fam
If ever.
and her fam depends on her, so even moving out together is a myth. Do you know what? There's one thing in here that sticks out to me is they think that they're pushing it because they're almost turning 30. There just shouldn't really be a limit to love, like the age.
But that's the thing. It's not a limit to love. It's because this. I was going to ask, how old is this person? Because
so they're
as
almost
someone
30,
who is pushing 30 as well, like I know that there's some things that I just don't want to have to like navigate anymore in my life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, okay, this is something that is bearable, definitely, and anybody else can bear it. At this point in my life, I don't really want to. If that was me, I would say I would have a conversation and talk about how it's affecting you, and then say that, you know, you don't want to make any big things, but you're also having to think about how now this is going to affect you and what your life is going to look like and what the life that you would like is going to look like with your partner.
Yeah.
And then 3 months, if you still feel some type of way, you have another discussion. And then 3 months again, if there's no change, or if there's no more positive discussion on it, you can then start planning how you might exit. I think all of these things take time.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to things with age. The difference of a month can change the way that someone thinks completely.
Yeah.
Right.
And so being in a relationship is not really just about the way you saw your relationship being. It's actually about how much you are prepared to wait or compromise for the other person, knowing that you are two completely different people with completely different upbringings.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And that's something that I had to learn as well, because this dilemma, I've been there before with this dilemma. And I wouldn't say that I thought they were never going to come out to their family. I think that's the difference, because they did come out to their family in the end. But I realized that what you're saying is true. We're two different individuals, and I had to think about, what am I willing to compromise and what are they willing to compromise, and how do we come together within those compromises? And I don't think the compromises were really compromising at the time, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like there was more compromise on one side than the other. I'm not going to say who, but there's more on one side than the other.
I mean, it's usually... Anyway, let's move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think you just put it perfectly. And what I would add to that is just communicate. A lot of people don't communicate in their relationships. You know,
people don't talk. People don't talk enough.
People don't talk in their relationships, and I don't know. It feels like this person might, but also they're saying moving out together is a myth.
But I mean, do you know what the thing is about like not coming out, and there's you should never rush anybody to come out. Like it's entirely up to that person when they want to come out, when they feel comfortable.
Hold on, Hans. There's a part 3.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry to the person that listen. My head's telling me to leave, but my heart's telling me to stay. No idea what to do here because I broached the subject. Maybe brought the subject. The subject, it ends in when I bring the subject, it ends in tears, as I know she's fearful. Yeah, as I know she's fearful of coming out, and like I said, not trying to force it. So been spoken about maybe 3 times in the last 2 years. Okay, that makes sense. So they don't speak about it that often. They spoke about it 3 times in the last 2 years.
No, but no, 3 times in the last 2 years. That's on average maybe once every 7 months. That is basically the same time frame.
It's fair enough.
I'm sorry.
Do you know what? It is an issue because if they feel like this person will never come out, that is an issue. But if they think that there's potential of them coming out, there's so many things you can't do when you're inside the closet.
For me, the thing is, right? Yes, you want to be with this person. This person is not able to be with you in the way that you need. So, how much compromise has already happened?
You can't.
If there's compromise that's already happened, you need to look at that. Then how much more are you willing to compromise?
They said they're never coming. They feel like they're never going to come out.
Well, then I mean, I don't know why we're even trying to answer this question any other way.
I think they know that they need to leave.
Yeah, because also if you're saying your head is saying leave, but your heart is saying, when did your heart make you money? Your head is the one that does. And if you're sick in the head, trying to stay in a relationship, you're going to end up making yourself sick in some other way.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Your heart will heal, babe.
Your heart will heal.
Because
the way that she sees her life, it's just not the way that it's going to be if she stays with this person. That's just it. That's just it. There's so many things you can't do when you're not out. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe she wants to have a family. She talked about her age, you know. Maybe she wants to have a family.
You know, I do feel like sometimes with people not being out, I don't think that kind of stops you from having a relationship.
No, it doesn't.
And I don't think it stops
it changes the parameters of it. You can't be
how much
open
of full life can you have?
Exactly, because when you are in a relationship and people always say, oh, two become one or whatever, like, bull. But, rubbish. You know, you join forces in some aspect. So you're actually asking someone to lock up parts of their life by being with you. I think it's always that kind of case. Whenever you are in any kind of relationship that has 2 grave differences, you know, you have people who are non-monogamous and people who are monogamous, and then they come together and it's like, how does that work? And what does that mean? Sorry?
Someone's compromised.
Someone's not happy.
Maybe not happy per se, but definitely not able to be their full self. And so there has to be some kind of like, you have to figure it out. If you choose to love someone and you choose to be with someone, you're choosing to actively choose to figure it out over anything else. Because the moment you're choosing to, and everyone can get mad and everyone can be upset and feel your feels. You are perfectly within your rights to do that. But the moment that you choose to stay in your feels more than, and I mean, look, it's always different for different people as well. So this is not prescriptive, but I think when you love someone, you can make the same kind of mistake probably like 1,000,000 times in a relationship, right? But like every time when you love someone, I think that also when you make the mistake, it's made differently.
Yeah.
Not only when it's made differently, it's also broached differently. And each time it's made differently and broached differently, the gravity of the situation also seems to somehow become less because you're getting better at having that discourse around the thing. So eventually the problem dissipates because you've been able to deal with it by talking and learning and seeing by process of elimination or this or that or the other. But that takes a lot of strength. And I don't think that we all have a lot of strength right now because the world is really fucking exhausting.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So while I would love to hope that everybody can just choose to love and be like, oh my God, like this is going to be great and we're just going to commit to it and work to it, I also know that very few of us have the capacity to do it. And if you don't have the capacity, it's also okay.
That's fine.
Wanting to not be in something because you don't think it's going to work out the same way that you thought it would is okay.
I going forward from past experience and now don't pursue being in a relationship with somebody who isn't out to whoever that's who out to their family, whoever they feel like they need to be out to, basically. It's something that I avoid now just because I don't want to get to this point.
100.
You know, because we can't predict the future. Somebody might say, I'm going to come out one day, 10 years down the line.
Yeah,
you know, our relationship hasn't progressed the way I would like it to, and we can't express ourselves we want to because of that boundary. So now I don't.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
That's something that it's
unfortunately. So I mean, it's not looking good, babe.
No,
it's not looking good, babe.
That's.
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
And then the next one. Okay, I'm pursuing a babe that's only ever been with guys before. I get the vibe she likes me, but I'm a bit apprehensive because I don't want to get my heart broken going for a straight girl. Since you guys have been with babes that typically date men, how did you know that it was going to be serious?
You don't.
Yeah, that was
I'm gonna let you answer that because
that's exactly that's exactly what I thought. You don't know if that's gonna you don't. It's a risk. It's a gamble.
I don't go into it with expectations. It's going to be serious.
Yeah.
If I get into these situations, which I try to avoid these days. But the straight girls, could they be finding their way? But I
don't think they're straight.
Spaghetti is straight until it's hot.
Yes, they're not straight. But they're straight until they meet.
I hope that wasn't a problematic thing to say. It was a joke.
No, we be saying
no one's told us off yet for that.
Cool.
So, but I would say don't have expectations.
I would say be cautious. Like I would say, like you have all the information there. You know this person hasn't been with a woman or been in a relationship with a woman before. So like. Don't be selling yourself dreams. Be responsible for yourself and your actions as well, because I feel like a lot of the times people get into things and they start blaming the other people. Babe, you had the information. Do you know what I mean? So like take responsibility.
But everyone has a first queer experience, so maybe this could be their queer awakening. But they call them a straight girl though at the same time. They call them a straight girl. And also, do you know what? Don't get trapped into being the man in the relationship if you're going to do this, because I feel like you try to mirror what men were giving them. And don't do that, because you're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose confidence. Let me not even start. My therapist is there for that.
I would say get out.
I don't think it's a situation they need to be in.
I don't think it is, but you know what? Like, also, if this is their first situation like that, I mean, if you want to learn, you can learn, but you can also just listen. Some people, I think we're very, segue, tangent. I think we're obsessed with making our own mistakes. The fuck is the point? Why do you want to make a mistake?
You know how it's gonna end.
You know what the answer is. Like, you know what the answer is.
Why do you want to make mistakes? That's always everyone's thing. I should make my own mistakes. Okay, I would rather like hack my way through it and not.
And also, it's just gonna be difficult. It's just gonna. Why give yourself a hard life?
No, do you know what? Just have sex, have some orgasms, and keep it moving.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Just have some sex.
Dip and do it, and then just leave. Get in, get off, get out.
Right.
Okay, another one. Do you think it's okay to settle at 35 with a boring but good person, or just stay single?
With a
boring but good person.
If they're boring, whether you're with them or not, you'll act like you're single.
Because
you're gonna feel the street still.
You're not fulfilled in that way. You're not like.
Do you know
what I mean?
Listen, everybody needs a bit of excitement. Even the people that we class as boring still require something exciting to them. No, like even if it's just National Geographic, but like
that's the excitement.
Me, I really enjoy that one too. But so I think if you find them boring, don't, because you said, is it better to settle with someone? You just use so many words that just say no. I don't understand why you asked the question.
They said boring but good. Do you know what I mean? But it just feels like
is it good if it's boring?
No, it's not.
I feel sorry for the person.
Because let the person go and find somebody else. Like it sounds like
the funny thing is, this person that we're describing as boring probably has some really crazy safe word for some really kinky shit.
You never know.
You know, maybe you just aren't asking the right questions.
Maybe
you're not wetting their whistle. Tickling their fancy.
Oh God.
Free them.
Free them, yeah.
Or get into the kinks. Okay, next one. This isn't a dilemma, but I'm in need of some tips on how to have the most holistic, sluttified bad gal summer. I want a summer of cute romance and foolishness. Please advise XOXO.
Why do they think
in London?
Yeah, I guess.
It's hard in London.
Never know.
In London, you want cute what?
holistic, sluttified bad girl summer, a summer of cute romance and foolishness.
Okay, so summer, cute. We can let's take the key words from this. Summer, we can do for about 7 days.
Yeah.
Cute, we can do because we have the looks.
Yeah.
Romance in this town, I don't know how it is for the L in the alphabet mafia, but definitely for the G, the NB, is trash.
Right.
People are not romantic.
No.
Don't you think people are romantic?
No, because everyone's too caught up in looking like, oh, they don't want to seem too much.
Right.
I'm the kind of person that if I'm going on a date with you, like, also, like, high key, this was the reason that I did first dates at home. But, like, people like to think that, oh, I was just, like, trying to fuck. No. There was a long time where I was quite broke, so I used to do first dates at home because I was like, I don't know if I want to spend money on me and another person.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of
Dates are
money.
expensive, you know.
Dating is
A
expensive.
date in London, minimum, I think minimum is going to be, if we're like, and also I'm taking into account, like, I have a certain level of, like, access and privilege. So I'm talking minimum for me, which would still be expensive, is £150. Like, that's what a date in London is, because you're talking
I would say same,
cars, dinner, all of that stuff. Like, but even if you're a queer person who doesn't have, like, that access or privilege, even £50 is fucking loads. Because even to get to where you're going, that's £4.89 probably tomorrow on some ghost charge from TfL on your card, and then Monzo has to remind you. But yeah, so I don't think the romance is gonna happen. But tips on how to have a good summer: don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Communicate very openly with everyone, because a good hotastic summer full of, like, light romance and dalliances, I've only ever seen one person do. They're a very good friend of mine, but I'm afraid that if I say their name, I'm going to be putting their business on blast.
Yeah.
But they know who they are.
Yeah.
You know who you are. But that's the only way I've seen it done, when you're just really open and communicative and lovely and honest and genuine about everything. You're going away because you're going to go and hang out with someone else. Say, I'm going, I have something else with someone else. I'm going to go. Because then you're not collecting any negative energy.
Yeah.
You've always chosen to address what it is. Because when you're trying to have a hotastic summer, whether it's, pussy popping on a handstand, making out with someone in a park, or, exchanging bodilies wherever, like, that's so much energy exchange that if one person has a bad, I'm very big on energy. So I'm like, if one person has a bad vibe, you carry that vibe to another person, and that manifests in a different way. And then slowly but surely, you see all of these little vegetable patches in your carefully cultivated garden. And they're all, like, wilting. All of the things are wilting. And it's because you're not carrying yourself truly through to everything.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to have a really hotastic summer, drink lots of water. If you want to go out and get lit, 1 shot of tequila every hour, and then water, and that's it. That's all you need. And then when you want to get lit, take it to a double shot of tequila on some ice with a drizzle of honey, and you'll be fine.
Oh, is that a thing?
Oh yeah, I do that.
We've been doing tequila and pineapple.
Tequila pineapple is nice, but tequila
with the honey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if you did, like,
try
a mezcal on 2 large blocks of ice in, like, a rocks glass with some honey drizzled on it.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It gives you lots of energy, but then you don't have the horrible hangover the next day.
Got to try that.
We've got, we're trying that next week. We're definitely trying that.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, I think we've got time for one more. That was really good advice. That one
Thank
was.
you.
Yeah, that was really good advice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit boring. You can't say that. They said, "How are you feeling today?" Okay.
Oh, right.
All right.
Okay. I moved to a gorgeous tall lady, but learned she's 21. I'm 25. Okay, we'll do another one after this one. I'm 25, but they were fine with it. Is that age gap too much?
Is that 4 years?
No, that's 4 years. My partner and I are 4 years apart.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
That's nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
the only thing that you want to, like, think about is, what kind of 25 are you? We all will be at different stages of our lives at different times.
Yeah.
And I think if you are a 25 that's also still very much figuring out your stuff, you don't want another energy that's also figuring its stuff out around you. You want to be a little bit more grounded. I think if ever you're going into relationships with younger people, as someone who has been in relationships with people who are younger than me, probably a little bit more than that of people who are older than me, because I have, like, intimidation, blah, blah, whatever. But yeah, I think it's definitely just like also understanding that young person does not have to behave the way you do because they're around you. They are still their own person. They're still going to react the same way that they're going to because of that age. And it's better for you to try and connect with yourself at that age to know how you would have wanted to be treated to deal with situations.
100%.
That's all.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay, this is the last one. There's others, so we'll continue next week because somebody said they really want us to answer. We'll do that one next week, but this is the last one. So, hi guys, I identify as non-binary and a STEM, but lately people I meet keep referring to me as woman or only using she/her pronouns. This has been making me feel a bit dysphoric and insecure in my masculinity. Wondering what tips you might have and what makes you two feel affirmed in your masculinity. We kind of spoke about this the other week because we both identify she, they, and we were just saying that how nobody uses they, them pronouns. We just focus on the she, and we felt like it was quite easy. But actually, people did. I don't know if anyone messaged you, but some people messaged me and said that when they're in public spaces, they do use they, them pronouns for us. So that was nice to hear. But what this person is saying,
we do the same as well.
Yeah. So what this person is just basically saying is, people are only using she, her pronouns for them. They're a non-binary and a STEM. And I guess with their a STEM, so do you know what a STEM is? Yeah. So like for people who don't know what a STEM is, you kind of
between stud and both.
You're a bit of both.
Right in the middle. I think if I would probably identify as a bit of a STEM.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would say, I don't know,
do you like correct people like
I don't know the people that have used he in a setting, if I know them, if they do it and I know that it's a genuine mistake, because you can always tell with the energy and the intention, right? So if I do that, if they do that, then it's fine. If someone does it, like seeing me presenting femme and still deciding to not go with they, because everybody is also aware of the conversation, so you know that you can, or just choosing to use my name. That's when I just literally, it's almost like an eraser comes out of like nowhere and just erases them from the picture, and I just don't see them because I don't have to until they refer to me the way that I want to be referred to.
You're not calling me. It can't be me you're calling.
Can't hear it.
Because the more you acknowledge it, you're accepting them calling you that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like even when people like mispronounce your names, that's not my name.
Right.
So I won't be answering to that one. But what tips would make you feel more affirmed in our masculinity? And I feel like we can do it on the flip side in your femininity as well.
I think the things that make me feel, I have to get back inside my body. That's the first thing, because when someone misgenders you, there is a sense of self that I feel is being taken away from me. Right? So the first thing I have to do is reconnect with myself. What is the thing that's going to make me feel like I am that she, they, or the more the they or the more the she or whatever. And usually for me, it's working out.
Right.
I will get in a pair of cycle shorts and a little like sports bra and give it like Kardashians and Calabasas. Like that's how I get into my femme. So I mean, I would say if working out is a thing for you, maybe try that and like really affirm your identity in that.
Do you know, it's funny because that is the same for me as well, working out as well. And I think when I go to the gym and after I look in the mirror, I'm like, I'm feeling myself right now. And I think moments like that, even when I get my hair done, things like that. Do you know what I mean? These are the kind of things that make me feel affirmed and like just looking at myself. Just like it just feels like I'm having a moment with just me and myself. So that's when I feel most affirmed. And I think it's really important not to center other people around that, because it feels like this person is kind of not really focused. I mean, other people misgendering them is bothering them,
and it's valid. Do you know what I mean? But they are really struggling with like and maybe like how other people see them.
They should need other people to affirm them.
It's about.
But you know what? I think sometimes also there is just, in the same way that sometimes we play dress up when we're younger, right? There is something that makes you feel a little bit good in just having been seen. And so maybe it's that maybe there's also a home environment that doesn't see them that much, which is why it's being like that. So I would say dress the way you feel the most most comfortable.
And
on the day that you feel the most energized to also go out, give that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that day, when someone misgenders you, you will correct them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that energy from that day will reside in your body the next time you don't feel good.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
And even just to add as well, like I know that as a STEM as well, especially me as well, people kind of devalue or invalidate your masculine side because they see the feminine side, and because you look like what a woman is, or whatever the case may be. So they just think, you're not masculine. Do you know what I mean? And I understand what they mean, and I get why they said they're a STEM as well, because I think it kind of paints a picture.
It does paint a picture.
an experience
Yeah.
as to what they might be going through. So yeah,
I think
fuck them hoes.
Fuck them hoes, and correct people.
Yeah, just keep correcting people.
I know
child.
sometimes, but when you start doing it, it'll get easier. It'll get easier. So correct people.
Yeah. So that one's people are really horny.
Wait, listen. Maybe the horny ones for another time.
We do it for another time.
Oh no, I'm a Scorpio. Let's do one horny one.
Okay, should we do one horny one?
We have to do one horny one.
Okay, let's do one horny one. Where is it called?
It's the summer.
Okay, I'm a lesbian. I sometimes watch gay male porn. I'm never turned on by men in real life, but the porn is easily accessible, and I can just.
Why is this a problem?
Yeah, why is this a problem?
I watch it too.
I have yet to sense.
I watch
I
gay
can
porn
just
all the time.
find it's hot because it's two people getting off. Should I tell my long-term girlfriend? She doesn't watch porn, but watch porn when masturbating. But I wonder if it'd be good to be open.
I think that everybody should do everything that they've ever imagined sexually with their partner.
Yeah.
Period. Because we are brought up to literally be so scared of pleasuring ourselves and pleasuring someone else and talking about what pleasures us, right? Like, that's the biggest block in so many relationships, and it manifests in people not being able to, stand each other when someone is joking a certain way because actually it triggers something that makes them like horny or angry or whatever. Like, talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Communication is
Talk
key.
about
Do
it.
you know that some people don't tell their partners that they're horny?
Do you know what? No, I mean, look, I can understand that. I had an issue actually where I would want to have sex but not feel like I could have sex until there was like drama or something.
drama.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because the sex is tied up in shame, and so like when you're ashamed of something or whatever, like you act out in different ways. I get angry when I'm ashamed of something that I've done. I get like really, really agitated, and so that would fuel a lot of. And I just not anymore. We thank God.
Yeah.
We're happily relationshipified.
Yeah.
Happily cuffed.
Babes.
Yeah. So I would say
Even that
yes.
crime sex.
Talk about it. Talk about it. I think it's so good. I think it's great. I think you also have to remember though that if you're going to be brave enough to bring the conversation which you think that you are not sure whether you want to have, you have to be brave enough to receive whatever comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Because it seems like their partner doesn't know that they watch. Did you get that from there?
which
Yeah, I did get that from them. I'm just hoping that it's a safe space. Sometimes you do need to.
But is
kind
it
of
ever a
like,
safe space in a relationship with a partner to tell them that you're watching porn? Because most of the time, your partner is going to also probably wrongfully equate that with them not being enough for you.
Yeah.
everybody needs to get out of that.
Do you know what I mean? It's not about you. Sometimes it's literally
it is
just about
them.
Yeah.
But
I just
also,
watch porn right
I feel
now.
like you kind of separate the porn sometimes. Like when you watch porn, that's something for you. That's something that you do in your own time, and you can share that with someone.
I'm sorry. I believe that okay, this one my publicist will freak out a little bit, but watching porn for some people is like that one cigarette that they have once a month, right? I think it's like that for a lot of people actually.
Yeah. I would say it's that for me.
Yeah.
You like it's not every day you want to sit and watch porn. It's not every day that you want to be like sitting there and like, oh, let me do this while watching this person and blah blah so on and so forth. But sometimes when you want to, it's the thing that you want to do for yourself.
Yeah.
We all do it. None of us are talking about it. We're pretending like we don't. And it doesn't make sense because like if you actually spoke about it, that thing that you like, maybe that aspect of yourself that's like really like caring or a little bit sub or like want someone to take care of you. Maybe you don't demonstrate that in any way, but actually it's reflected in the porn that you watch.
Yeah.
True.
It is. I watch all types of porn. I do gay male porn is amongst one of my categories that I watch. Actually, my burner account has lots of.
I'd say it's evolved into a relatively good art.
Yeah, and I really enjoy the passion in it.
Yeah,
that's why I watch it.
Same.
They do be going to town.
I don't watch lesbian porn, but I watch it.
Lesbian porn can be very performative.
Yeah.
So I don't always watch. I watch the home ones though. When it looks a bit more genuine.
The amateur ones.
Yeah, when it's a bit more genuine, then I watch it. But okay, should we end on what everyone's favorite porn category is? Oh yeah. Oh god.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I'll go first.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I have a category per se, but I definitely like. I'm very attracted to people who are like me. Yeah. So like, fluid.
Yes.
In there, that can give all of the fantasy.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. I'm gonna say that. What I'm gonna say is that the lesbian porn is at the bottom, and everything else is in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Except for when we're not talking about like kink stuff, like
okay.
race. We're not talking about race stuff.
No,
Anyway.
race
we don't
play.
do race-
Oh
yeah,
my God.
no,
race play with that. But yeah, like the community, like love watching all the community.
Yeah. All of the shapes and builds.
Yeah.
I would say that my fave is anyone pleasuring themselves. I like
Fair.
to watch people pleasure themselves, whatever gender that is.
I feel like if I'm gonna watch that, they have to be doing it in front of a mirror.
The mirror one is good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to know how into yourself you are.
Yeah.
Show me how into yourself you are.
I even have faves at the moment. Look at
faves.
At the moment, there is a trans guy. He's my favorite one at the moment because it's in front of, maybe because in the mirror. He's in front of the mirror. He's very passionate. He's just very passionate in his own body. And yeah, he's my favorite now.
Honestly.
I love that for you.
And like, he just uses tools that I've never seen before. I'm like, wow, I'm learning.
Tools.
Yeah. I don't even know what even called. I couldn't go on Love Honey and Google, even like search. I don't even know what they're called.
We get it from.
But yeah, I'm into it. I'm into anyone that's pleasuring themselves.
Fab.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I'm into. I was going to go on and on, but
yeah, no, it could go on for ages.
This could literally be an after dark episode. We need to get out now.
We need to leave. I don't want to go on too much.
Not this one, coming for us. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's been so lovely talking to you.
All of your stuff is going to be in the bio.
Yeah.
So everyone just be clicking, be following, be listening,
links.
all of that. All of that. So the film, is it film coming out soon?
I believe it's supposed to be out around December.
Okay.
But you can look it up. It's called Layla. It's the first ever film, feature film by Amru Al-Qadi, who is an incredible queer Middle Eastern writer, performer, drag queen. And they assembled a really great queer cast to come together and tell an incredibly warming, hilarious, and very aesthetically pleasing story.
Okay.
I'm gonna be looking at it.
So can we have a link for that? We can't have a link for it yet.
For the film, yeah, it's Layla. It's called Layla.
There's a website for it. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna put it. It's gonna be in the bio. So make sure you know that Nana is all about films.
Yep.
So we're gonna give you. Nana's all about films. Nana's a filmmaker. Yeah. So we're gonna get to
we should talk.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because actually for Hong Kong, I want to do, before my performance comes on, because they have a huge LED screen.
Yeah.
I want to do a full film before.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
Make sure you use hashtag 2T's podcast and conversation.
Yeah.
Make sure you share. Make sure you rate, review, all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and buy tickets to our live show.
Yes, do that.
Also, guys, the party would have happened by the time this episode comes out. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So
It's
the
gonna
tickets
be
are sold out
Wednesday.
for the party. We've seen your
We're
DMs.
so sorry.
There's nothing we
There's
can
no
do.
tickets. It's done.
But yeah, we'll party together.
Yeah.
Whoever you got a ticket, we'll party together. Buy tickets to our live show. Until next week.
Peace.